Recently, I was watching a very experienced law enforcement instructor working with a student, and he was talking about something called riding the reset. Riding the reset basically means that after the trigger is pressed, the shooter will ease the trigger forward, feel and hear a click, and then they can start their next trigger press. That click indicates that the trigger, the disconnector is reset and the trigger can be fired again for another shot. And that used to be a popular teaching point, which I personally shy away from. The idea of riding the reset for me, if I show that to anybody or share it with anybody as a student, it's really just so that they understand what the reset is and when the trigger has reset. But typically what I'll ask students to do is reset the trigger in recoil rather than ease the trigger forward to feel and hear that reset. And the reason for that is the trigger manipulation or management really is a two-directional or bi-directional affair. One part goes backwards, that causes the hammer to fall and the gun to fire, but the second part of that trigger management is getting the trigger forward as fast as possible and then back as quickly as possible so that you save time. And then how aggressively you press that trigger really may depend on the difficulty or complexity of the shooting problem. But getting the trigger forward should be done, in my opinion, as quickly as possible. Anything short of that is really just a waste of time and inefficient. Let me shoot it and we'll see if we can pick it up, and I'll show you what I mean. All right, let's see if we can watch the gun do its reset thing. Right back at the wall, right back at the wall. And so now I'm ready to finish my trigger press. Let's take a look at that in slow motion. Okay, a good way to practice that is to put a round in the chamber, empty magazine, or no magazine in the gun rather, empty mag well. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to get that trigger press and then reset the trigger while the gun's doing its recoil thing, and check what my next trigger press looks like. Let's take a look at that in slow motion.